When we use synonyms to describe and explain science vocabulary words, it is more effective than simply exposing children to new words. Why? We are drawing on the student's general vocabulary knowledge. Basically, existing concepts and vocabulary knowledge support new or novel word learning. If they know how to categorize or assimilate the new information by linking it to something they already know, learning becomes more efficient. We will use this technique repeatedly throughout the course. Studies have found that distributed learning, characterized by long intervals between learning episodes, is more effective than massed learning. Rice and colleagues noted that children with language impairment showed a significant rate of forgetting novel or new verbs. Bottom line, children with language impairment demonstrate a significant improvement for learning verbs with higher input frequency and distributed learning. Riches and colleagues found that high input frequency and spacing effects facilitate verb learning for children with language impairment. These are two completely different kinds of therapy. One, high input frequency, consists of frequent and closely spaced training, and distributed learning involves widely spaced training. The combination of the two kinds of training, for example, an initial frequency-based training session followed by a succession of widely spaced booster sessions, is ideal. Again, in the first session, aim for high frequency for the target word. Second session, third session, fourth session, etc. Pre-plan for booster sessions. It is important to teach children the reason something melts is because of heat. Have the students circle the items that can cause heat. This is in your handouts as well. This handout would be excellent for distributed or spaced learning in your booster sessions to revisit the word melt. Remember, children with language impairment have difficulty remembering verbs, so we need to pre-plan for booster sessions. This is a low prep activity to illustrate the verbs separate, mix, and combine. To increase active engagement, have each child place 5 beans in the bowl. Now we are going to combine them with the water. Then place the water and beans in this strainer. The strainer will separate the water from the beans. This utilizes active engagement and demonstration. Be sure the child says the verbs separate, mix, and combine while doing the experiment. For example, I am combining water with the beans. I am mixing the water and beans. The water is separating the beans. Another way to promote science vocabulary is to link everyday vocabulary to science vocabulary. Think of the everyday vocabulary as a conceptual bridge. Things that are familiar are bridged to science vocabulary verbs. For example, figured out means conclude. Group means classify or categorize. Guess for predict. Think for infer. See for observe or discover. Show for demonstrate. Tell means report or explain. And try out or test for experiment. Now let's talk about grouping children for science experiments. Mashburn and colleagues found that when children with language impairments are grouped with children of greater language skills, the children with language impairments benefit from conversations.